Hello, friends. We are here at the Intuitive Art Academy open house. I have graduates, I have students, I have our leadership coach, I have me, the founder, I have Laura, our practice hour teacher. We are just here. We're already having fun. We're hanging out. We're answering your questions. And I guess what this is turning into is you just getting a peek inside of what we're up to. So we're gonna have a chat and just talk and see if you want to be a part of this, because it's actually a lot of fun. I think what I would love to do is, if you want to introduce yourselves so that as we're going forward, people can place you and like know where you are in the program. I think that would be fantastic. So does anyone want to volunteer to go first?
I'm Rosalind Warren, and I am in the practicum part of what is now part 2. And so that's involving actually meeting with clients and practicing everything that I've learned, and it's so much fun. And just right there on the edge of certification. So very excited for where I'm at, and so happy to be here with all these fabulous people.
Awesome. Thank you, Roz.
Hey, and Roz, can you tell everybody where in the world you are located?
I live in the very northeast corner of Florida, right by the Atlantic Ocean and just south of Georgia. And for name recognition, I'm north of Jacksonville.
Well, I'll introduce myself too. I'm Carrie Roldan. You guys, if you've been watching these, you probably know me by now. I am a certified intuitive artist. I am also sort of on the inside of the Intuitive Art Academy. I've been calling myself Rachel's Gal Friday. I'm the leadership coach. I work with certified intuitive artists after you guys graduate, just helping us be together as a community, lift each other up, and grow our businesses in whatever way feels best for us. So with the most ease and joy and abundance, and sometimes some practical strategy as well. I'm in Costa Mesa, California. I just moved. I'm so used to saying Huntington Beach, California. I'm in Costa Mesa, California, which is on the west coast of the United States. And I guess I don't know what else you need to know. I have a business. It's a coaching business. I call myself the Business BFF, and I chose intuitive art initially because I thought it would be a helpful thing to incorporate into my work with my clients. And I've since really grown, just sort of moved in the direction of merging my business with the intuitive art business and sort of having it all be one thing. So that's who I am and what I'm about.
Hi, I'm Chantal de Souza. I'm French, and I'm a certified intuitive artist, and I am a painter. That's it.
Yeah, Chantal is an incredible, energetic, visionary artist. She's created paintings for a couple of us now, and just magical. And her insights, all of your insights are amazing when it comes to intuitive art. And we're actually celebrating a bit for Chantal because she just got a new job, which she's seeing as a help to growing her own business. And she just did her first complete clarity session in English. And so we knew she could do it, obviously, but she's really celebrating that. So I'm just so happy for her. Yeah. It's really difficult to go from a momentum of not doing something to then go into a program as full as ours. It's full in community and in personality and in knowledge and in experience. And I think people are feeling that and maybe wondering if this is, if they can handle it, if this is right for them, if they can keep up. But the biggest feedback I get after our program is, wow, it's so organized. I can't believe how easy that was to complete. I want to hear from you guys too. You did it at different times. So do you want to comment on that and how easy it is to kind of keep up, or not easy depending on your experience?
I like because it's almost in a way, if you look at, if you've taken a million courses like most of us have, and how many of us have these programs that we've bought and they're still, they used to call it a shelf education. Now it's my hard drive education, because the hard drive is the only thing being educated, because I have yet to go back and actually use these. So I love the fact that there is some self-pacing in that if life comes up, you can put things on pause. But there's also so much interaction, and that's why I went through the live one, that the first one that just ran, because there's the accountability. And then there's those of us that we're in, and now we're in this like little group here. And so now we do our practice hours, and it's like, it's, if you can't get there live, you're okay. If you can get there live, it's even better. So it's beautiful. And to step back to the whole the business piece, I didn't even really understand that was even part of it. But and as someone who has all these pieces together, that, and I know Carrie probably, it took us years to get these systems set up, and to walk in to a program that as soon as you know what you're doing, you can start working with clients and making income. It's almost unheard of. And it's just so smooth. And so that's my experience of it. It can be, well, here's the point, kind of the point, especially if you're work in the coaching field. If you allow this to overwhelm you, it's because it's going to make the biggest difference in your entire life, and your ego is trying to slow you down. So just go, yeah, hey, there you are. Love you, overwhelm, and keep going forward, because it's going to make a huge difference for you.
And Rosalind, I just wanted to say, I have all those systems in place. Like, I know how to do that stuff. I just don't want to. So I'd prefer to use business assistants. Like, I prefer to send one email that's like, or fill out one form that's like, here's what I'm going to do. Can you make that happen for me? Like, I would way rather do that than pay a VA to do it. Or even if I'm paying a VA to do it, I still have to go through all the steps that I would be going through. So yes, I have all that stuff in place in my personal business. And when I do intuitive art stuff, I choose to use business assistants for ease.
Awesome. Well, Laura is back. So Laura, welcome. As I said before, she leads our practice hours and will be teaching for us, and will actually be teaching a live version of the certification in the Michigan area in a couple months. And we're working out the details, but yeah, you're just, everyone loves you, Laura. You're so amazing. You add so much to this program. So do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, no surprise. My name's Laura. I'm a certified intuitive art practitioner. I've been involved with intuitive art for, geez, Rachel, 5 years, longer, 6 years, forever, okay? And I absolutely love it. I love the diversity of working with intuitive art for yourself. Is a roadmap, intuitive lifestyle roadmap for yourself. It can solve any problems for you, show you any action steps, any blind spots, everything and anything for yourself, self-improvement. And teaching, you can teach a diversified amount of classes, or you can blend it into modalities that you currently are practicing. And it's just amazing. It's amazing in flowing and bending as much as you are.
Another thing that's coming, and you'll see this theme, we're constantly in this program and growing it and listening to your feedback and changing things. And it's not just a static thing. And I think that's really what also makes it different from so many other programs. But Laura has developed her own methods to use with intuitive art, and she'll be teaching those as like an add-on to a level 2 certification if you're interested in that. Do you want to talk about your jump-in method and your mandalas? Because I think they're so incredible.
Yes, the jump-in method, it's a way of helping others experience the actual energy that's contained within your drawing, because you're connecting on a thought form level and the picture comes back for you to interpret it. Everything that's in your energy field and everything that's connected in your higher self, the dreaming mind, connects to you in picture form. So when you step into the energy of your drawing, that's what you're actually seeing, is the pictures contained within the drawing itself. And it's an experience that only you can experience. And so when you go through this experience, you just simply are telling me what you see, what you're experiencing, and if there's any blocks or things that are coming up, you're going to be able to work through that in a very safe and very detached way. And the big thing is experiencing the energy of your drawing, and only you can do it yourself when you're teaching it to someone else.
It's incredible. Yeah. So she does the drawing for you, or you'll do the drawing for your client, and then you'll instruct them. Like, they actually go into the drawing. It is really cool. And it's something that I never would have thought of, you know. So we have these amazing experts at your disposal, giving you even more than what you sign up for. So I just love having all these amazing people around me to make intuitive art better and to round us out. You know, I learned so much from all of you, and it's really incredible. So as you can see, our community is kind of a love fest. We're all obsessed with each other, and something that might be a little confusing is the license fee. On our intuitiveart.com/certification, when you look at level 1 and 2, it says the price of the tuition and then plus $300 a year. That's probably not a part of every certification that you see, but it's a really important part of this one, because we don't just teach you something and then drop you at the curb. We keep going with you. We keep improving the program. You can come back and take any live class that you want after that point. You have a monthly certification mastermind with Carrie. You have weekly live practice hours with Laura, and access to me anytime whatsoever that, you know, is on my calendar. Knowing that you are taken care of and really helped along the way is so important to me. I would never want to just teach you this tool and then say, okay, have a good life, good luck. That's absolutely not what we want to do. We are building a community and really trying to set you up for the biggest and happiest success. Yeah, so it's absolutely worth it. And that is, it just breaks down to $25 a month. I think it also can help motivate you to get out there and do what you want to do with it. If your momentum is not having a business, or not, you know, using our services, or not getting out there and teaching or doing sessions, it can be hard to start doing it. I totally get that. So having the $25 a month for all of this extra, I think, can be a nice little inspiration to just get out there and do it and start your new momentum of doing this kind of work that you love.
Well, I was thinking about what we were talking about the last time that we launched this. It's interesting how like the energy around it has shifted. But at that point, we were talking a lot about like how quickly you could double your investment, right? Like how quickly you could make your money back. And this time it's just so interesting, right? Like what's coming up for all of us. But I just wanted to say that because we did somewhere, we have a video showing you exactly how you could double your money after your first month after graduating, right? Like it's a matter of if you're excited about intuitive art and you're excited about sharing it, it's a matter of putting together a couple of classes and enrolling, like enrolling other people into the process of loving intuitive art, and you make your money back really quickly. So for people who are worried about like, oh, there's the initial cost and then there's the fees, like we could justify that fee so many different ways, but it's also there to really just like if you're serious about turning, I don't even know how to, like I'm wondering, I'm imagining that someone, if you're watching this, you've probably tried intuitive art before, right? You've probably gotten that feeling of looking at a drawing and having an aha. Or maybe you've even had the feeling of looking at your drawing and having the aha and then showing it to like several people and being like, this is what this means. This is what, or looking at the drawing, having the aha, implementing it, and then saying, oh my God, that really worked in my life, right? So that's why you're here, is because you've already experienced that and you think it's really cool. And you're probably trying to figure out, how can I incorporate this into what I'm doing? Or how can I share it with more people? Or I don't even understand how I could be making money at this. And so, yeah, I guess I just wanted to say that, like, there's, yes, there's a it's $300 a year. Is that right? $300 a year to keep up your certification, but it's a non-issue. Not only is that super cheap, but it's a non-issue because you can how much money that you make with intuitive art just depends on what you want to do with it. But there's infinite possibilities.
Absolutely. Yep. I'm taking a moment. Thank you all for coming. I just put this out there in our student group, and we have 4 people who are here. Kathleen joined us. You might not be able to see her. She hasn't. Hello. Yes.
Hi.
Yeah. So I just want to get across the vibe here. Like, we're a really friendly group, and you're welcome to come in and join us. I think that's one of the big things that I have struggled with in the past is I've got an interesting worldview, right? I like talking about vibration and other worlds. I'm a different kind of person. I don't really fit into a box. I'm not like a spiritual person where all spiritual people and I get along. I'm not, like it takes an interesting person to really have a good conversation with. And what I love about this group here is that I love all of you and we all get along really well. And I can talk to any of you for hours. And sometimes we do. So I just got a text the other day. This woman that I know who runs a doodling business. She's got a few books on doodling and the power of doodling, which is art, And she was sitting on her porch and she said, man, I'm different. And she had that thought about herself. And then she thought, well, who is different but also doing well in the world? And she thought, oh, Rachel Archelaus. And she sent me a message giving me that little scene. And I just thought, yes. And I can say that about all of us too. Even if you're not exactly where you want to be, you're on the path and you're happy and you love what you're doing and you're figuring it out. And we're figuring it out together too. So I just wanted to share that. Like, if you feel like you haven't really fit in anywhere, you might fit in really well here. And if you're kind of resonating with us right now, then I think that's a really good sign. So yeah, I wouldn't just nilly-willy jump into a community either, because I would probably have the assumption that it wouldn't get along with everybody. But here I feel really at home, and I'm pretty sure you all feel at home too, or you wouldn't be here. We're not paying anyone to be here today. We just put out the invite.
I like the feeling of we all have each other's back. We all really, really, really care that each of us is super successful. in whatever way that looks for you, whatever you define success. But we all want that for each and every one of us, and we just hold that.
Totally agree.
Ditto.
Well, I think that comes from us having an abundance mindset. And, you know, some of us are still working on that abundance mindset, right? But we have a belief. We have it here, even if maybe we haven't all fully integrated it here. And we're really supportive of each other in that. And when you have an abundance mindset, you know that there's enough room for everybody to succeed. And there's no competition, right? There's just collaboration and co-creation. And that's what we do so well together. And I mean, that's my favorite part. I could be biased because this is what I do inside of intuitive art, right? But that's my favorite part about the masterminding is like, well, what are you doing? Well, what are you doing? Well, what if you did this? Oh my God, do you mind if I steal that? Right? Like it's all part of us understanding there's plenty of room in the world for us all to make bajillions of dollars and have all the abundance and all the ease that we're looking for, right? All the joy, like it's, and so because of that, because we all have that mindset, it's so easy to support each other and to share with each other and to help each other instead of having this weird competitive, like I need to be more successful than him or her kind of a vibe.
Yeah, I definitely feel like when one of us succeeds, we're all celebrating, and then it just makes us feel like it's even easier for us to succeed individually. I love that. And I love sharing all of my wins with everyone because it brings the whole team up. You know, like we just got our trademark, and I'm excited about that for everybody. And, you know, like our book is being sold in 31 countries, and that's really cool. And we're trying to get translations right now. And, you know, it's so fun to be part of a group like this, and to all still, you know, have our own individuality and respect. I love that because when I look at other businesses that have like a team mentality, sometimes I do get a little heebie-jeebies, but I don't get that here.
Yes, no heebie-jeebies. Only loving support, and we want to help each other to be our very best and to reach really our highest potential in whatever that is. And we're very supportive and loving. We'd love to have you.
Oh, and you know what else is one of my favorite things about intuitive art, and I'd love to get all of your take on this. When you have a business or you're doing some other kind of modality, oftentimes you're kind of like hyping it up or building it up, and you're wanting the client to understand the power of what you're going to be doing with them. And it can feel a little hard to like get them on the train, right? Even though, you know, like that's why they showed up for you and that's what can really benefit them. But with intuitive art, it's more of a showing and not a telling. Like once you do intuitive art with someone, if you've done it in my free class, you'll know, you just get it when you do it because it's you. Like you are doing it, the client is doing it, or they're receiving the drawing. And like there's no talking necessary, really. It's just so powerful on its own. And I think that's one thing that's really good for beginners here or people who don't want a business or don't like marketing. You don't have to do much or any of that at all. It's just showing people what it is, whether you're teaching it or doing it in a session. It's just so powerful, and I love that. It reminds me of when Roz said in our Q&A last Friday, like it's added a new dimension to her work and her students are excited about it. Because it just is really rad, and people get it because you experience it. It's really cool. And it's so visual. It's like, it's not something you have to feel for in your body or calm yourself to, you know, get in a meditation. It's just right in front of you. I like that.
One of my favorite stories about that is this actually happened like almost, it was January, so almost a year ago now. I was teaching an intuitive art, like a mini workshop inside of a retreat that I was co-hosting. And the people at the retreat weren't necessarily people who would just like be excited about or sign up for intuitive art, right? Like they were definitely business development kind of people and show me the steps, and maybe less open than a lot of the people who I'm used to working with. And we did the intuitive art workshop first thing in the morning on like the second or third day. So people had already had like a long day of stuff. And this one guy, as I'm leading the color meditation, he keeps falling asleep. Like he's like, and the workshop, the retreat there wasn't that many people. So we're all sitting around this great big table, and this guy just keeps nodding off, and then he'd be like, and he'd wake up. And I mean, I was like, just loving him through watching that process, but he managed to get his colors anyways. And he was like, I think he was a little bit irritated that he had to wake up early and get there for this crap, I think is sort of how he was feeling. And like, I could have slept an extra 40 minutes is probably where he was around this. And then we started to do the drawings, and the question he asked was about his income level and his business. And he at first had a little trouble decoding it, and then we went over there and we looked at it together. I just asked him a couple questions, and he got such clarity. And so that was fun for him to get clarity. And the advice he got was totally counterintuitive. It basically said the first thing that he needed, counterintuitive to him, made sense to me. The advice that he got was like, you really need to concentrate on your physical health and on urban living was what came up for him. And he was in the middle of contemplating a move at the time. And I didn't know, but also contemplating back surgery. And long story short, he really took the drawing to heart, right? He went from falling asleep during the meditation and wondering why he showed up for this crap to, wow, I received an answer. He took it to heart, and within a couple of months had like completely done exactly what the drawing said, right? Put a focus on his health. He wound up having the back surgery. While he was recovering from back surgery, he had his best month in his business. He's a multi-level marketer, and he enrolled a whole bunch of new people into his business. And he just kept coming back to it over and over and over. Like, oh my God, that green squiggle made all the difference in my life. And so that's my story of that, like really tangible, oh my goodness, fun results.
I love those stories. There are so many of those. So over the years, a lot of people have gone through the certification. And in the past, in order to graduate, you had to teach a class. And so a lot of times these students would be women, and their husbands would go to the, mandatory class just to support their wives. And they'd go through the motions and just like follow along while, their wife was leading the class and doing everything, but of course, very begrudgingly, just like this guy. And they would be total converts by the end because they'd be like, oh my God, this is really amazing. And none of them followed up with me, but I just heard from that initial feedback that they were really blown away. And yeah, I've seen it happen so many times in my own teaching as well, when the reluctant partner would show up and like probably get more out of it than the person who brought them. So I just love stories like that. And it's because we're helping people connect to themselves, right? Like we're not pushing anything on anybody. We are allowing them to receive their own inspiration, intuition, higher self language. And it's just remarkable. When we live like that, we can just advance so quickly because we're not trying to figure it out. We're letting the part of us that already has it figured out guide us. It's wonderful. I love going back to my old drawings and seeing that, oh, wow. Yeah, that was totally right on, spot on. You'd think I would be used to it by now after doing this for like 25 years, but I'm not. It's still amazing. All right, my friends. Well, I'm not sure what else people are interested in knowing. All I know is that in all the years I've been offering this, which is since 2014 or before, maybe a little bit before, I've never, ever, ever had a student come to me after they signed up and say, nope, sorry, this isn't for me. Not ever once, ever. So I'm really confident that what we do is wonderful and supportive and knowledge intense and high quality and professional, like all the boxes we have ticked. It's really just a matter of, what are you feeling? You know, if you've been watching all these videos, you're probably a match, because I don't think you'd be here if you weren't. And it's really just now a matter of overcoming the momentum of not doing something to jumping into doing something. That's just the hurdle that everyone has to face when they start to do something new. You know, when I want to go hiking, it's hard to put my hiking shoes on and my hat and my sunscreen and go and drive to the mountain, even though I know I'm going to love it every second of it. So it's just part of living in this world. If you want to talk to any of us, just call our 800 number. I'll put that below. You can also book a time to speak with me. Leave my calendar link below too. And then if you want to talk to a student or a graduate, just let me know. I'm sure one of them would be happy to speak with you. If you have any questions and you don't want to ask me, I totally get it. So yeah, jump on in. We're a good group and we know you'll really love it. So any last words from anybody?
Well, I always have last words, but what came up for me when you were talking is just, if you don't know why you're so drawn to an intuitive art, but you're just like feeling like you're drawn here, don't worry. You'll figure it out. It will tell you why you've been drawn here and what you're meant to do with it. And if you're looking for a group of people or a community or just a place to live online that emphasizes and supports you in your desire to live more and more vibrationally, this is your place.
We love you. Thanks for coming. And maybe we'll see you on this side of things really soon. All right, guys. Super love.
Bye.